Hello my dear students, welcome back. Today I am going to teach science of class 7 and we are going to start a new lesson. So before starting the lesson, it is very important to recall or remember some basic ideas or some basic knowledge that you have learned in class 5 and 6, which will help you to understand today's topic. So first of all, I would like to ask, why do we wear woolen clothes? Why do we wear woolen clothes during winter? During winter. Why do we wear woolen clothes during winter? Warm. Same, why do we wear cotton clothes? Cotton clothes. Why do we wear cotton clothes during summer? Obviously, cotton clothes is the next question is, which is related to today's lecture or today's lesson. You can say, how do we know whether an object is hot or cold? Por amasi sai amadi ingi wana kamaina khange. Mai lenaba question amaga, how do we find out how hot or cold an object is? So these two questions are related. First question is, how do we know whether an object is hot or cold? And the second, which is related to the first question, is how do we find out how hot or cold an object is? So with this, I'll announce today's lesson or today's topic. Name of the lesson is heat. Name of the lesson is heat, and it is lesson number 4. And in this lesson, it contains 5 subtopics, and today we will discuss only 3 subtopics. So name of the lesson is heat. And it contains 5 subtopics, and today we will discuss only 3 subtopics. This is lesson number 4. So you can look at your textbook also. You will find that the first topic is hot and cold. Hot and cold. Page number 35. So we come across a number of objects. Life, daily activities. Say for example, ice cream. Ingbro sabro. Ice cream ingani. Ice cream ingani. Then teacup chadi sarani. So tea is hot and ice is cold. When ice cream ingi sana sai. So how do we decide which object is hotter than the other? What object amana dagi hena size? We often do it by touching the objects. So one object is hotter than others. How do we decide which object is hotter than the other? We often do it by touching the objects. But the question is, our sense of touch, is it reliable? Sense of touch reliable? It's always chungadra. Reliable. Is it reliable? So let's take an example to prove that our sense of touch is reliable or not. One activity is given in your textbook at page number 35, activity 4.1, in which 3 buckets are taken: bucket A, bucket B, bucket C. Bucket A dana ising ayingba, bucket B dana ising asaba, bucket C dana warm water. So activity 4.1, you will find 3 buckets are taken in which, or containers you can say. Container A, it contains cold water, container B, hot water, and container C, warm water. Ayingba asaba lumbu sa. Koi kutsi amana A da lupe, amana B da lupe. Lupuga satlauna satoga khud ani maksi da lupsan. Aduga C gi temperatures akwai da phaw gudu yin. Mas da khona kai u fangi. After keeping the hands in the 2 mugs A and B, we put both the hands simultaneously in mug C. The question is, do both the hands get the same feeling? Kudamana A da, kudamana B da. Simultaneously salauna warm water is salauna loop. Maduda, the question is, do both the hands get the same feeling? Feeling the temperature power pudu asaba ing power pudu chamana brand. Left hand A dani, right hand B dani. We cannot always rely on our sense of touch. Kaino masida phone power say the water in the mug C is hot and the right hand tells me that the same water is cold. Khud anisi amana aing madalupa khutuna A dalupa khutudidi sana powerni kayo di ma hana khutu aing madalupa na maram wedin. Container B dalupa khutudi asaba dalupa ga lumbu sabada lakmanina modidi ingani. And amana sani amana ingani. And the same warm water si could yet amadi oisi could anisi could avoid the power pussy could the power pussy manadri. Same warm water si manadri. Masina kai hare. We cannot always rely on our sense of touch. Aduna havidi sense of touch is not a reliable. It's not a reliable having. Sense of touch in a port amasi sai ingisi akoin haibang amoy. Kutto hal ingam magana lumbu sabada lupa matamda ising do asaba ni hayani khud asaba da lemba khud asaba da lupa khuduna lumbu ta sabada lupa gadi inge hayani. So what is the reliable then? Sense of touch is not reliable. Then what is the reliable one? Reliable is kind of any reliable. A reliable measure of the hotness. Kyam sai sabaji kanya khangni of an object is its temperature. Seeing temperature. Temperature di pora masi kyam sai kyam ingisi. Takpong madu reliable source to measure to reliable pot to temperature kawi. So a reliable measure of the hotness of an object is its temperature no temperature di kanai mating na khangdoiba thermometer haiba device ki mating. Thermometer haiba device ki mating na when temperature se on bayan. So here the reliable measure of the hotness of an object it is temperature, and temperature can be measured by using a device called thermometer. So the next topic is measuring temperature. Next topic is measuring temperature. Measuring temperature. Thermometer makhalani tamdoini clinical thermometer haibama, then laboratory thermometer haibama. So measuring temperature, the thermometer that measures our body. Clinical thermometer haibama, then laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer haiti kaino. The thermometer that measures The thermometer that measures our body temperature. Our body temperature. Temperature on clinical thermometer. It's called a clinical thermometer. It's called a clinical thermometer. Then what is a clinical thermometer? Clinical thermometer is the body temperature on the scene thermometer dubu. Clinical thermometer it consists of a long, narrow. Clinical thermometer the clinical thermometer consists a long, narrow, uniform glass uniform glass tube. Clinical thermometer it has a bulb at the end. The bulb this bulb contains mercury. So outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. A long, narrow, uniform glass tube ni the bulb the mercury. So the scale we use is the Celsius scale. On the current scale, units in the Celsius scale. The asang was meter to only unit ni, and then the temperature clinical thermometer is in unit C. Celsius scale ni indicated by degrees Celsius. So a clinical thermometer reads from. So what is the range of clinical thermometer? Clinical thermometer is range. The range of clinical thermometer is from 35 degree Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. 42 degrees Celsius. So the next is one activity is given, which is for reading a thermometer. Thermometer is a quick amina. Thermometer all over the temperature reading a thermometer. So the question is, so the one activity is given, which is reading a thermometer. Temperature difference indicated between two big marks 1, 2, 3, 4 1, 2, 3, 4 thermometer do that. A difference indicated between the two bigger marks, also note down the number of division. Manungda bigger marks 1, 2, 3, 4 thaba. Madugi manungda small divisions suppose the bigger marks read 1 degree, 2 degree, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, and there are 5 divisions between them. She marks that 1, 2, 3, 5 divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions. One small division one small division degree 1/5. That is 0.2 degree. Division is 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, 2. And the division is 0.2 degrees Celsius. And then on Madugi Magi numbering period, the division period, Kia, we do know when handling Kandoni. I think the water thermometer preferably with an antiseptic solution. See, the water topiro, hold it firmly and give it a few jerk. Jerk the thermometer. The jerk will bring the level of the mercury down. Jerk P si kay yamaru mercury level down. Now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. See ma'am, see Heidi washed or antiseptic solution jerk P is hang kalaba. Kalisika mercury level do Makada Kumtarak Adu Matunda under your tongue. In order to measure your temperature, put the clinical thermometer under your tongue. Tamani. After 1 minute, take the thermometer out. Thermometer is loud to high with the thermometer. See, chin the laying either. When you're reading to yen, the vanity. Thermometer is loud to not to be. Not the reading. This is your body temperature. The temperature should always be stated with its unit. Temperature to even matamda unit jar igadabani. So the normal temperature human body is miyoi normal temperature si laigadabasi 37 degrees Celsius si normal body temperature ni. Sidagi helagadi yam helagadi kone fever lairega normal body temperature. Average ni the 37 mak oidabasi yawi kitang point khara mani mamang chena badi ai yam hengragadi madu kone fever lairega. So if you have a thermometer at home, clinical thermometer at home, you can do the practically by yourself. The temperature of every person may not be 37. 37 or the minimum marker change to average when the 37 the clinical thermometer is designed to measure the temperature of human body. Clinical thermometer is only human body temperature only human body temperature atopa potsaki on the scene. So clinical thermometer is used to measure only human body temperature. It cannot be used to measure any other object. Atopa objection on the machine. The temperature of human body normally does not go below 35. Human body is 35 ki makhada laite 42 ki mathak su laite aduna magi range 35 to 42 piribani. This is the reason that this thermometer has a range of 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. But nowadays clinical thermometers is seen as a human body also avoid keeping the thermometer in the sun or near the flame. It may break. Clinical thermometer ki mahutta digital thermometer or seen as digital thermometer ka ni la hai battery hapaga sa namaga to clinical digital thermometer ata sinare namana. Laboratory thermometer. Next is laboratory thermometer. Laboratory how do we measure the temperature of other objects? Clinical thermometer the atop human body nataba atop pochak singyam ta on ba the sina de habnina atop pochak singi temperature on ge hadi kai sina ni laboratory thermometer sina ni. The range of the laboratory thermometer is generally magi range sina manadi clinical thermometer ka -10 degree Celsius tagina 110 degrees Celsius ulai magi range sina. So la ngasagi clinical thermometer da small divisions ko adigi big marks me amdu yenga ondringai da magi pyramid value masing magi 1 to 3 thaba division ki masing do khangdok pa dumaina clinical thermometer ki dumaina laboratory thermometer so koina 1 to 3 do khangdo ani division khangdo ani horen on mo mata na mating pa na ba. Then variation ko so one activity is given in your textbook, activity 4.5. Thermometer sai ising sida warm water or normal water or ising sida koina laboratory thermometer ji look pa kanda koina reading si yengani temperature se kya lai yen madu looping loop na yengani koina laboratory thermometer si madu temperature kya lai yen. When you take out the thermometer, the level of the mercury begins to fall. Reading mercury jar haigalamadu reading lorambadu matanda jar handagini. So this means that the temperature must be read while the thermometer is in water. Laboratory thermometer sinagi high laboratory thermometer sinarga object amagi temperature on gi high taragadi madudo object to the laying at on gada. So if you want to measure, so for example, if you want to measure the temperature of water, the reading must be read while the thermometer is in water. Otherwise, when we take out the thermometer, the problem is the mercury begins to fall. Mercury is a target. I don't know what I'm waiting at. Sing the laying at that and be them. So I do laboratory thermometer see body temperature on with the scene of yagadra question hanadi. Can we use laboratory thermometer for measuring body temperature? Then so what will be the answer? So while taking your own temperature, body temperature low matamda, you have to take the thermometer out of your mouth to note the reading. Body temperature on ge high taragadi thermometer si lauthu aga yeng batai. So while measuring body temperature, we have to take out the thermometer out of the mouth to note the reading. Reading to yeng na bagi damakta chindigi lauthu batai. Madu da khone laboratory thermometer si na redi ke ba mercury do zer laung ta gini reading do khang ngam. So we cannot take laboratory thermometer for measuring body temperature. Body temperature si na biya. So Bozo wonders why the level of mercury should change at all when the bulb of the thermometer is brought in contact with another object. Matari se kay maram you body temperature. Obviously, it is not convenient to use the laboratory thermometer for this purpose. Why does the mercury not fall or rise in the clinical thermometer? Clinical thermometer the mercury si jar kakala mutung namadi tarakti. Clinical thermometer the laboratory thermometer the jar kakalaga kayumu objective the hek thok matam the mercury si jar tarakani. Clinical thermometer target se kay maram gino hayadi mo na kay yaw do you see ek mo na king khana yaw king yaw a king near the bulb king kay di kay no bend to bend hay suay twist to yaw ngan natraga curve hay suay king kay clinical thermometer di yengo matamda bend kitang khoi ba mi yaw ngani bend twist to wai gera curve high sway kitang kon mo mehaw ngani madu clinical thermometer the kitang kon mo mehaw do madu kink kawi. So kink sigi magi mating nani. So with the help of kink, so what is the use of kink? Kink ki mating na kadoba kink, it prevents mercury level from falling on its own. And the clinical thermometer the body temperature on no matam da lautho on be ai du kai maram gino kink yo hadi bend to bi kitanga maduna mercury do makha ta halak to amko on ge high taraga di jerk to am kan batai mercury di jer makha ta. So there is a lot of concern over the use of mercury in thermometer. Mercury is a toxic substance. Mercury is the problem or is mercury is a toxic substance and thermometer is alcoholic laboratory thermometer so toxic substance and it is very difficult to dispose to yamna low kaira matunda. So these days digital thermometers are available which do not use mercury. Digital thermometers digital thermometer the mercury yauti thermometer. So these days all people or in the hospital also or in the pharmacy also, when you buy a thermometer you will find digital thermometer. It is very safe because it do not contain mercury. Mercury is a toxic substance and when it breaks it is very difficult to dispose of. So with this I'll summarize what we have learned today. We have learned that hot saba amadi ko ing basi akogi thengaga khang always chumde aduna maram moidana kai reliable source kai ware reliable source temperature no gido the temperature si kai na khangni thermometer na khang thermometer makhalani sui clinical thermometer have ma laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer is used for measuring body temperature and laboratory thermometer is used for measuring other objects. And with the help of kinky mating na so clinical thermometer clinical thermometer की range 35 degree Celsius to 42 degree Celsius king kama yawi bend tawuma mercury do makha taratana laboratory thermometer na -10 degree Celsius to 110 degree Celsius ama de hello thopa makha tarakani. So our sense of touch, I'll repeat it again. I'll say our sense of touch is not always a reliable guide to the degree of hotness of an object. Temperature is a measure of degree of hotness of an object. Temperature is thermometer is a device. Thermometer is range speed. So the last part of today's lecture is evaluation. So I'll write down some questions which will help you to check whether you have understand the topic or not. Question number 1 is, what is the use of the kink? Clinical thermometer the kink sin is why laboratory thermometer cannot be used to measure body temperature. Laboratory thermometer is in a body temperature one by adresi kari maram gino body temperature. So the first question is kink matang what is the use of kink? Clinical thermometer they are high grade magi sinabum si kay man happy si kay maram gino. Why? Question number 2 is why laboratory thermometer cannot be used to measure body temperature. So with this I conclude my lecture. Thank you. Thank you.